Yep, gas. Taste it. Yeah, it's about 12% gas. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to HR Repair. This is Hey Ray. This morning we have a truck that was towed in. It's an F350. It's the regular cab, long bed version with the 6.7 liter Power Stroke. So, I was going to make a video on this one on how to diagnose a crank no start on this one. However, this one fired right up when I hopped into the cab and just for kicks, grins, and giggles tried to start it up. So it fired right up. Let's get into it. See what we find. Contact. So this thing was towed into us because one of the workers of this place went and put about 8 gallons of gas in this thing, and they caught themselves, and so they went and filled it up with diesel fuel the rest of the way, drove it about 10 miles, parked it, and now they couldn't start it. I suspected that they had a failed fuel pump. This thing has the CP4 pump, so I automatically suspected a failed CP4 pump. Now, a failed CP4 pump will happen because you have gas in the diesel. The diesel that's in there does not have enough lubrication to begin with, and then you put gas in there, you just took out the lubrication of that whole fuel system. I've had where some of the CP4s can handle a little bit of gas, and I had one for a guy that was passing through from Louisiana, and he came off the interstate with no power, couldn't hardly keep it running. Ended up that he had a half tank of gas in it. To get him going right away, I went ahead and pumped all the gas out of the tank, replaced his filters, and sent him on his way, and I never heard any complaints after that. So I don't know, did they get lucky here? Why did this thing not start and now this morning fires right up? I suspect that once it's hot, the gas is just enough gas in there to not start right up. So let's try it again. We do not want to run this thing too much just because we don't want to destroy the CP4 pump, what's left of it. So it fires right up and it idles okay. So we're gonna shut it off because, like I said, I do not want to run this thing too much. 168,377 miles. So what do? Well, first thing I'm going to do is we're going to pump the fuel tank dry, replace the filters, put more diesel fuel in it, and you know, I don't have time to go through and change the fuel pump. I am at a place where I'm booked out 5 weeks, and there's just no way I can do more than just diagnose it. So I have told them that right up front. So they're under the impression that they may have to take it to another shop or wait 5 weeks. So yeah, hopefully we can get by with just draining the fuel pump or fuel tank and getting this thing back on the road again. So let's get this thing inside, pulled inside. We'll get the fuel tank emptied out, put new fuel and things in it. Let's get it inside. Let's get started removing the fuel from this truck. All right, so this is how we are evacuating the fuel from the fuel tank. Go into active test, fuel pump lift commanded state, turn it on. We've got an adapter here. This is brought to us by S&S Diesel. This is why I don't throw anything away. I can use this as an adapter and very conveniently put fuel into the barrel. Now, I will say I'm pretty sure that this thing has more than 8 gallons of gas in it, because I can smell gas really like a lot. So Well, that went right in my face. Okay, let's try this again. Yep, gas. Stick our finger in there. Taste it. Yeah, it's about 12% gas, so a little too much gas. Do not do that. Don't do that. That is not safe. Don't do that. So what I have also done is taken this fuel filter out. So I've got this fuel filter out of the top of the engine, and we dumped it onto a rag here, blue rag, and we have 0 steel shavings in there. So we may get fortunate here and be able to replace the fuel filters, go ahead and get this thing filled up with some diesel fuel, straight diesel fuel. I'm going to throw a little bit of lubricant, fuel lubricant in there, and it's a diesel fuel additive, lubrication additive. It's not oil, it's not transmission fluid. Don't do that. These DPFs and SCRs cannot handle that ash in the diesel fuel or in the transmission fluid. So do not do that. If your truck does not have the climate tax removed, then you do need to have diesel fuel additive that is low sulfur and does not have ash in it. Transmission fluid creates ash. Ash cannot go through your climate tax add-on onto your fuel pump or your truck. So don't add just transmission fluid unless you have an older truck that is straight out the turbo. So let's get this thing pumped out, and I think we're going to be good. Now I'm going to recommend to him that he put in, at the very least, an S&S disaster prevention kit, which is a filter after the fuel pump, or before the fuel pump. I say before the fuel pump. It redirects the flow from the fuel pump back into the filter, then back into the head of the pump and into the injectors. So if this fuel pump fails, we can catch the steel shavings and save himself a lot of money. Now, are we going to be able to do that today? No, we're not. The ideal thing to do would be to put a DCR conversion kit on this. But we're going to talk to the customer, see what they want to do, and go from there. But we should be good to get it going today. Alright, so we've got all the fuel out of the tank. I pulled the filter out, primary filter. There's absolutely 0 shavings in there. When we had the bowl out off of it, there was no shavings in there either. So I've put regular diesel fuel into this thing, and we're going to see what happens. Now, we know it's already going to run because I've bled it and I have started it. We've got 5 gallon in here. Truck runs pretty good. What I want to do is I want to come into live data here, and I want to look and see what our fuel control valve, what percentage it's at, to try to keep fuel pressure. I want to make sure that we're not having to use excess fuel to get our fuel pressure, which I don't believe we will be. I don't know. I honestly don't know how this guy became so fortunate. And like I said, I am going to recommend that they do something to avoid having to pay for a set of injectors, whether that's put a DCR conversion in or an S&S disaster prevention kit. Okay, so we have commanded fuel pressure. I want that. Fuel control valve. I want fuel rail pressure A, and I think that's going to be all we need. Show selected. Okay, so our fuel pressure is staying good. We're at 21% on our fuel pressure control valve. So let's head down the road and see see what happens. I mean, everything seems normal, so I don't know. I'm here to tell you this doesn't always happen. Truck sounds good. Has good power. Sounds like it might still have a little bit of gas in the system. The truck is I call it spark knocking, but it's not spark knocking in a diesel. A little bit of pre-ignition, what it sounded like, but our fuel pressures are staying perfect. We're at 41% on our fuel pressure control valve. Let's stay on the road, please. Thank you very much. I don't need to turn the way I'm looking. I hate when I do that. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna call this a win for now. We'll make our recommendations to the customer and see what they say. Yeah, it sounds good now. Good power. We're building 29,000 pounds of pressure. Good. I'll wrap this one up and we'll let you know what they want to do right now. I'll put that up in wording. So I don't know. Customer got pretty lucky. No, I don't say lucky. I believe God was looking out for them. So let's end this video now. Quit rambling, quit trying to drag it on out, and not run over this golf cart up here, or the UTV, and we'll let you guys go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you on the next one. Have a great one. Goodbye.